Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Sports Mixtape. We have a special Valentine's Day weekend episode for you. I'm joined by these two cutie patooties, Brent and Jimmy. And, going into the Valentine's weekend, we've all had our hearts broken some hearts before. So we're going to do a couple heartbreaks and a couple romance things this week. We're going to start out, though, with the Super Bowl recap. We had a great Super Bowl. Lots to talk about there.
Yeah.
We're going to go into a top 5 90s rom-coms. Had a lot to choose from.
Yeah, there's some good ones. I mean, the 90s is loaded with great movies.
Might be some unorthodox ones on my list, too, so we'll see. Next, we'll hit it with the top 3 sports heartbreaks for any one of our favorite teams. Could be the Eagles, the Mets, the Jets, the Yankees, whoever it may be for us. But we've had our hearts broken many a times as fans. We'll hit the Duke and UNC Chapel Hill recap. Another stellar game.
Yeah.
Talk about heartbreak.
Yeah, another great matchup between the two of them. And to close it up, we've got a Mount Rushmore of all-time NBA All-Star Weekend moments. With the All-Star Weekend coming up, a lot of good memories going down memory lane on that one.
Oh, yeah.
It was fun.
So let's start it off with the Super Bowl recap. Brent, Jimmy, you guys got anything to start it off with?
Sam Darnold.
Well, one thing to start it off. We did hit our 3-leg parlay for the Super Bowl.
Yep.
We closed out the NFL season pretty strong there.
Back-to-back weeks.
Yep. This weekend we may put together a little college basketball or an NBA parlay for you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the Super Bowl, not as great of a game as we were expecting.
Brad called it a great game. And if you like special teams and defense, it was a great game. Seahawks 29, New England 13.
Yeah.
Dominant defensive performance by Seattle. They got after Drake May. 6 sacks, forced 3 turnovers. Jason Myers set a new Super Bowl record with 5 field goals. And how sweet was it to see Sam Darnold get redemption?
Yeah, I mean, I've been banging the drum all year. I need to see it from him, and he finally did it. So next football season, I could relax a little bit. But it's good to see anything related to the Jets do something good. So I was excited for him.
The Jets got a win by proxy on that one.
For me, I'm happy.
Yeah, he did what he needed to do, which was not turn the ball over.
He didn't have
That's
a great.
the only job he had to do.
It wasn't a great game by him, but what's funny is this is literally how Seattle won all year, with the leg of Myers and the defense and Darnold kind of managing the game.
And the running game. Kenneth Walker balled out in this
Stud.
game. Very surprising. It was so interesting, too, because anytime he tried to run between the tackles, there was nothing there. But once he got outside those tackles, he had that short level burst,
quick.
and it was on to the next thing. I mean, he ran for 135 yards against. This was one of the top run defenses in the NFL, and he had that one long run called back.
I think it was a 35-yard touchdown called back.
Well-deserved MVP there.
Yes, and Mike McDonald, 3rd youngest coach ever to win a Super Bowl at 38 years old. That defense, he called them the dark side this year.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, it got me thinking, the ability to, all right, so everyone says you need a quarterback, right? Most teams are out looking for a quarterback. I think that's been the hard thing for Jimmy as a Jets fan. Until you have a quarterback, it's tough to win consistently in the NFL. But I tell you what might even be a notch above that is a front 4 that can generate pressure without blitzing. And that's what this Seattle defense was able to do. Look what they did to Drake May. Let's rewind it to last year. Of course, we want to bring the Eagles into the show in a positive light whenever I can. Look what that Philly team did to Patrick Mahomes last year. Vic Fangio defense hardly blitz the front 4 that gets after it. I'm going to go back even further. This is the neutralizer of great quarterbacks. Mahomes, 2 Super Bowl losses to Philly and Tampa Bay. He looked downright average in those games because they were able to generate pressure while leaving guys in coverage. let's take it back even further. We got a shout out to Philly, the Giants. Tom Brady's the GOAT.
Twice.
Tom Brady's the GOAT. And what did that Giants front for both years?
O.C. Umanura, Strahan, Tuck, they had immense talent.
When you have a front that can get after the quarterback, it almost neutralizes the greatness of an elite NFL quarterback. Now, I'm not calling Drake May elite yet. I know a lot of people have it out for Drake May right now. Drake May's going to be fine. He's 23 years old. I think his shoulder was dinged up. He was sacked 21
Dan Marino.
He was sacked 21 times in the playoffs. He's going to be just fine. But that Seattle pass rush was relentless. And then they mixed in the corner blitzes with Witherspoon. Brilliant defensive game plan. This was a dominant one-sided Super Bowl.
They couldn't get anything done. And you're right. When you have a front four like that, you drop that many guys back in coverage. I mean, Drake May had nowhere to go with the ball. I think he made one pass to Stephon Diggs in like the first 3 quarters. And besides that, he didn't do anything. And then, he had a bunch of garbage time for the most part, yards. But that defense, I mean, and I think they're going to bring everyone back for the most part, Seattle. So I'll be interested to see next year what they could do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked seeing Cooper Kupp stepping up again. Gonzalez did a great job blanketing Smith and Jigba.
He was injured.
This score could have been a lot uglier. And Gonzalez made some incredible plays to kind of keep New England. I felt like New England early on was bend but don't break. Their defense played really well in this game, all things considered. I think the first 9 Pats possessions they punted. So the defense was on the field a lot. They really tried to keep New England in the game. The bottom line, New England didn't have enough. Something I was surprised about, though, guys, I think you can't use this as an excuse, and he didn't at all. In May's post-game pressers, then the next day he was saying, everyone's banged up this time of year. But I do think May's shoulder was off a little bit. The guy, 73% completion percentage in the regular season. Granted, the playoff defenses he faced ramped it up a little bit, but he missed some throws early on in this game that we typically just don't see him miss. He had the injection before the game in the shoulder. I'm curious to learn what may have been going on with that shoulder. I know he took the hard hit in the third quarter to the Denver game. Again, it's not an excuse, but I think May is in a situation similar to Josh Allen up in Buffalo. You've got to get these guys some weapons. When Stephon Diggs at the age that he's at now is your number 1 receiver, it's going to cap and limit your offense.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, look, they'll reload. I think first order of business for New England, offensive line help. You got to solidify that offensive line.
I don't think Campbell was healthy either. Coming back early from the MCL injury, he got bullied all night on that front.
Yeah.
And they did not do what we wanted them to do, what we thought the game plan would be for them to have a chance at winning, which was give May some designed run plays early on.
I didn't understand it.
Moving.
Yeah.
He found some
rollouts. Just get him moving a little bit.
He had one big run early. And
too little, too late. He found some chemistry with Hollins there at the end. But you got to protect the quarterback. That's it.
Look,
and you can't turn the ball over. 3 turnovers is going to kill you in the Super Bowl.
That was the difference. Darnold.
Darnold
had a couple close calls. Don't get me wrong.
The first 5 throws all seemed so close to being picked.
But he didn't make the big mistake, and I think that was, like Jimmy said, he had a couple games when he really needed to step up this year, but that was the game plan for Seattle all year. They rode the 2-headed running back monster. JSN was there for some big plays when they needed him. Again, I can't say enough how happy I am for Sam Darnold. On his 5th team, he's still younger than Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and he is a Super Bowl champion.
People are saying that it's like the best draft class in recent memory, and he is the guy that got the first Super Bowl win out of these other quarterbacks.
So cool to say.
Well, one last thing to mention. Super Bowl commercials are dying.
Yeah.
But with that being said, there was a couple that got me to laugh out loud.
Oh, yeah.
And one was the Benson Boone and Ben Stiller.
Dude, that was
commercial.
hilarious.
Instacart.
Yeah, go look it up if you didn't get a chance to see it. Ben Stiller steals the show.
He still has it. Uncle Tony still has it.
Flip off the speaker, yeah.
Yep.
Also, what was there any commercial that you liked or that stood out to you, Jimmy?
No, I think that was the only commercial that was really memorable.
Please tell me you guys saw the Bruce Arians prostate commercial.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was actually a good commercial for guys. Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm part of a generation that we could go get our blood tested.
Yeah, right.
Well, let's move it along. If you're at home, grab your lady, grab your man, grab your cavatier, grab some popcorn, and sit on the couch. We're going to do our top 5 90s rom-coms in the spirit of Valentine's Day.
Yeah, there's some movies, maybe you guys could watch some of these this weekend with your love interest.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for Cupid to track down Jimmy. Jimmy's been dodging him for years.
I'm elusive.
All right, top 5 90s rom-coms.
But the rom-coms, my wife and I are high school sweethearts. Our first date was a rom-com, Just Married. Do you guys remember that?
I love that movie.
Murphy.
Great movie.
But it's always a good chance, you know, it loosens the mood. It's light, airy, comedic, and then you get your chance to steal your first kiss or something. It's always a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
Jimmy, why don't you start it out for us?
All right, I'm going to start out. My number 5 is a movie from 1991. It's called Doc Hollywood. And this is not necessarily a widely known movie, but
Michael J. Fox?
This is Michael J. Fox, and he's he is a cocky doctor, and he basically wants to be a plastic surgeon to the stars. So he's going to drive to California. His car spins out and he hits a fence in a rural town called Gladys in South Carolina, and his car has to get fixed, so he can't leave the town for about a week. And the judge, since he hit the judge's fence, makes him have to work at the local clinic in order to pay off his debt for the fence. And this is just a good movie. He basically hates everything. He's cocky, wants to be in the big city, but he learns that small town life. He falls in love with an ambulance driver, and he realizes small town life is really what he really wants. But this is a classic Michael J. Fox film, and this is a good one because not a lot of people have seen it. If you have not, you should check it out this weekend.
I'll have to watch that one. I haven't seen that one.
Doc Hollywood, a really good movie.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
Maybe not for kids. There is a little 5-second scene with a little boobage, but, you know, that's it.
Brent, what do you got?
You know what? My number 5, I'm going with the classic. Little Tom Hanks, little Meg Ryan. You've Got Mail from 1998. Right. I feel like Meg Ryan was made for the rom-com. I mean, she's been so good in so many of them. Sleepless in Seattle, When Harry Met Sally. This one, the premise is 2 rival bookstore owners. Meg Ryan owns a little mom and pop bookstore. Tom Hanks owns like the chain big business bookstore. And they end up falling in love over AOL. Now, this is back when
You've Got Mail.
Exactly. You guys remember AOL Instant Messenger?
Yeah.
The away messages. This was like the original social media, I would say.
Well, that was the social media when we were in high school of our time. That's what you used.
So fun little fact about this, Meg Ryan had never owned a computer until this movie. She received her first one on set.
Really?
Dave Chappelle is in this movie. He plays Tom Hanks's best friend, and he's the first to figure out that Meg Ryan is like the anonymous computer girl Tom Hanks has been messaging back and forth. This is a remake of the 1940s movie The Shop Around the Corner. It's just a feel-good, chummy rom-com. So I've got it at number 5. You've Got Mail.
All right.
Good one. All right, so this is my unorthodox one, I guess. But you guys remember the movie Mallrats?
Yeah.
This was 1995, but written and directed by the great Kevin Smith.
Love Kevin Smith.
He wrote and directed a bunch of good movies then. But this one has Jeremy London. It's got Jason Lee, better known as Earl from My Name is Earl. But it takes place just like a suburban town, and the mall was the hangout back in the 80s and 90s. That's where you went if you were high school age. So it's two friends. They get dumped on the same day, and they go to the mall. They're kind of making plans to win back their girlfriends. The one guy's girlfriend, her dad is putting on a game show at the mall. It's like a dating game show. And that dad, it's one of the best characters. He's just a jerk dad to the ex-boyfriend. But it's about them doing what it takes to get their girls back. You got Jay and Silent Bob in this movie. And they are like the Batman and Robin duo to help them get their girls back. Ben Affleck's in this movie also.
Young Ben Affleck. He plays
the new boyfriend of one of the girls. And it's just like, he's just a super jerk in it.
Yes.
But it's a good comedy. What's a couple other ones Jeremy London was in?
He was in a bunch of stuff.
Alvin and the Chipmunks?
No, that's Jason Lee.
Yeah, no, Jason Lee.
Never mind. You guys will look them all up. But that's my number 5.
Yeah, I like Mallrats. That's a good movie. All right, my number 4, I'm going to go with a movie called Tin Cup from 1996.
I have this on my list as well.
Tin Cup, it really combines romance, comedy, sports. It's got something for the ladies, something for the guys. But yeah, Roy McAvoy. If you ever golfed, you know when you hit it in the water multiple times, you call it tin cupping. And this is what he did. But yeah, he's a self-destructive former golf prodigy. He works at a driving range, lives in like an RV. His rival, Don Johnson comes by. One of my favorite scenes is where they see who could hit the ball the furthest. And
7-iron, right?
And Don Johnson just hits it down a long road, and the ball keeps bouncing and bouncing
down
and bouncing.
The highway. Yeah. You know, Brad's got a little Roy McAvoy in him out there.
Yeah,
on the golf course. He never lays up. If there's a chance to go for it in 2, doesn't matter what the stakes are, doesn't matter what the score is. He's going for it.
You never know if you don't go.
And yeah, basically he's trying to qualify for the U.S. Open against his rival Don Johnson while trying to steal Don Johnson's girlfriend.
Renee Russo.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a great movie. It's funny, romantic, but that to me is a great rom-com of the 90s.
Yeah, awesome golf movie.
Yeah.
Awesome rom-com. Really funny. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a few picks.
All right, Brent, number 4.
My number 4. So I got a little generous with the rom-com title on this one. This one is more of a comedy, let's be real. But there's a romantic element because 2 of the main characters are married in this. I'm going back to 1992, My Cousin Vinny.
Oh, yes.
Joe Pesci,
Great
Marissa Tomei. Marissa Tomei is phenomenal in this movie. She won an Oscar for her role. Joe Pesci, one of his cousins, is a young college-age kid from New York, down in Alabama, gets wrongly accused for murder. Joe Pesci had a hard time passing his bar exam. Cousin calls him up. He comes down and represents these 2 kids during the trial. It's just such a funny movie to contrast the North versus the South. There are so many great scenes. The Utes.
Herman Munster was the judge.
Yes. Joe Pesci has no idea what a grit is. Marissa Tomei has this incredible knowledge of automobiles. That's actually what ends up saving the case. This is such a funny movie, such a great movie. Again, it shows the difference between the North and the South. Vinny is just this street smart, fast talking, New York kind of guy. And this movie, the director of this movie, Jonathan Lynn, actually has a law degree. And he really wanted realistic courtroom scenes. And in some law schools, they use the cross-examination techniques to show students like how to do a cross-examination. So yeah, My Cousin Vinny from 1992. I believe I was in second grade when this movie first came out. I didn't watch it then when I was that young. It's a rated R movie. There is some language in it, but it's a really just solid movie.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
All right, my number 4 came out in 1998. This is The Wedding Singer.
On my list as well.
Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore, Christine Taylor. We had appearances by John Lovitz, Steve Buscemi.
John Lovitz characters.
Billy Idol made an appearance in this one, but a lot of good backup actors in this one.
Yeah.
Great 80s soundtrack.
One of the best, yeah. Set in 1985, you had Robbie Hart. In Jersey. Robbie Hart, played by Adam Sandler, is a wedding singer, and he gets dumped on the altar.
And he's just a good guy.
Just the best guy.
Yeah.
He falls in love with the waitress who's at the event center for these weddings that they're always playing at, played by Drew Barrymore. Was it Julia Gulia?
It was gonna be Julia Gulia, but Adam Sandler prevented that.
So he decides to help her plan for the wedding. They become friends and fall in love with each other. And he tries to stop her from getting married. Now, what's his name?
Glenn
Gulia.
It's a great villain.
One of my favorite scenes in any comedy, though, is when they're outside of the bar and the old guy tries to fight him.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, I got a song. It goes, I just got punched in the face for sticking my nose in other people's business. And the old guy goes, sounds like a country song.
Yeah, that's a great.
But all around, yeah, great soundtrack. That's one of the best things about this movie.
For sure.
But yeah, you could go dive into some 80s grit in this one.
All right. Top 3. This is very hard to do, and I had trouble putting these in order. So my number 3 is Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
This could have easily been number 1. But Groundhog Day, Phil Connors, played by Bill Murray, narcissistic TV weatherman. He goes to Puxatawny, Pennsylvania, to see Puxatawny Phil. And it's a groundhog, and basically he's just a cocky guy, and he's all about himself. And he wakes up, and they want to leave, and there's a blizzard, so he can't. And he ends up reliving February 2nd over and over and over. And at first, he doesn't know what to do, and he starts using it to his advantage. And the whole point of the movie is until he becomes a selfless person, he can't stop that cycle of the same day over and over. And at the end of the movie, he does. He becomes a selfless person, gets the girl, and is one of my favorite Bill Murray movies ever, probably.
It reminds me a lot of The Christmas Carol. He plays kind of a similar character.
Yeah, yep.
And Scrooged.
Scrooged, yeah.
Yeah. Bill Murray's got quite the catalog. Some real gems in his lineup there.
Yeah, he's got a lot, and that one to me might be my number 1.
Yeah. All right, my number 3, Jimmy already mentioned it, 1996 Tin Cup. Jimmy, covered most of the details of this. I just want to point out a few things. We got some real cool PGA Tour cameos in this.
Yeah.
Phil Mickelson makes an appearance. Fred Couples makes an appearance. Jim Nance is an announcer. Johnny Miller. I love the dynamic in this movie between Roy and his caddy, Cheech Marin, Romeo in the movie. One of my favorite scenes, Roy is trying to qualify for the U.S. Open. There's this back and forth constantly between him and Romeo. Romeo's trying to get him to do the right thing and play it safe. Roy does not play it safe. So Roy asks for, the club that he wants to use, and Romeo's like, no, we just got to do this to qualify for the Open. And Roy's like, qualify for the Open? I'm trying to set the course record.
Yeah.
So Romeo snaps I think it's a 3-wood or a driver, and then so he goes to hand him the 3-wood, and he snaps that one too. And then Roy goes, all right, well, hand me the 2-iron then. well, sometimes I fade this 2-iron, and he snaps the 2-iron, and then he's like, and sometimes I hit the 3 a little thin, and he snaps that. He goes through every club in his bag until he's literally left with only a 7-iron. Plays the rest of the round with the 7-iron, famously qualifies for the Open. Another great scene is when he develops a case of the yips, and Romeo is trying to cure him, and he's got the head thing on, and he's telling him, put all your change from your left pocket into your right pocket. Just shows how neurotic us golfers can be at times. But Tin Cup is such an awesome movie.
I agree.
All right. I got Sleepless in Seattle for number 3. Bringing back Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan.
Classic.
Sam and Annie. I haven't seen this one in a long time, so me and the wife will have to turn it on. But it's like Sam's a widower, and they move across country. His son wants to find him a new wife and have a new mom. And he sets up this radio show call, and Meg Ryan hears it. She's a reporter who lives in New York, hears it, believes it's fate that they're meant to be together, falls in love just hearing the interview, and they carry on this long-distance relationship with each other that eventually ends at the Empire State Building, all lit up, and you know the story from there.
Yeah, that's like your prototypical rom-com from the 90s right there. If you had to pick one or ask anyone what a rom-com from the 90s, that would probably be it.
Had to make the list.
They all, run around an hour and 30, an hour and 40 minutes. You're going to be smiling at the end of it. There's no twist or turn. Very simple, but also very feel-good movies.
Yeah, I agree. My number 2, this is going back to when we were in high school from 1999. 10 Things I Hate About You.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, Heath Ledger. It's loosely based on
Stiles?
Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew.
Yeah.
But Julia Stiles' Kat is like a rebellious girl. She has a younger sister who's way more popular. And basically their dad tells the older sister, Kat, that, or the younger sister, that she can't date unless her older sister does. So basically, younger sister wants to find her a guy, and the guy that wants to date the younger sister hires Heath Ledger, who's also a rebellious teen, to basically take her out and date her. And nothing goes as planned at first, and eventually she starts falling for Heath Ledger. And but this is like your 1999, right when we were in high school. This is one of those movies that just, you watched it. It was a feel-good movie in the end.
That 90s teenage angst.
Yes, exactly.
It's a good cast when those actors were young. Joseph Gordon-Levitt in that one, too.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I think he ends up dating the younger sister.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, shows what you'll do for love.
I know. And then he has the classic scene on the bleachers where he's singing to her. 10 Things I Hate About You. That's my number 2.
Yeah.
All right, my number 2. Going to take it back to 1991. Again, a little loose with this one here. There's really 2 romantic relationships in the movie, but it's not the main theme of the movie. But I'm going with Father of the Bride. Steve Martin's daughter is getting married, and he is having a hard time coming to grips with it. He's this like shoe mogul, and it's hard for him because his daughter doesn't know the fiance for that long. Just a classic movie that any dad who has daughters can probably relate to. Great chemistry between Steve Martin and Diane Keaton in this one.
Yeah.
And then also, we got to mention Martin Short as wedding planner Frank. He steals the movie. He's
great
so
in everything
good.
He's in.
I heard that character was based off of a real-life LA wedding planner. The iconic scene for me in this one, though, is when she's all grown up and has the conversation with her dad out on the basketball court. She's playing ball late one night, and her and the dad, there's some tension going on because of the wedding and the wedding planning, and again, him just having a hard time coming coming to grips with the fact that his baby girl is all growing up. But yeah, give me some Steve Martin, Father of the Bride, with my number 2 pick.
That's a good one.
Good one. My number 2 is 10 Things I Hate About You. Also, I don't really have anything else to say about it. It's a great one, though. Go watch it.
Yeah, I mean, that's one that, like Sleepless in Seattle, stuff like that, that really didn't hit me, when it came out. But, right when you're in your prime in high school, 10 Things I Hate About You.
All right.
My number one, this might be more of a comedy, but it's definitely a rom-com, and that's There's Something About Mary. Yeah. The entire movie is basically Ben Stiller trying to get this one girl that got away.
You got my number 1 too. That's my number
Something
1
About
also.
Mary. All right.
Yeah, it's the best.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Brothers.
you could add in on this, but yeah, I mean, and there's such a great cast in here. Ben Stiller, Cameron Diaz, Chris Elliott, who plays Woogie, the ex-boyfriend of Cameron Diaz.
Harlan Williams has the best character in this.
No. The best character in this is Mary's stepdad.
How'd you get the beans above Frank?
The opening part of this movie is so good. And then you also have Pat Healy in it, played by Matt Dillon.
Yeah, Brett Favre is in this movie.
Brett Favre is in it.
Magda.
But yeah,
movie.
So Ben Stiller, essentially, after he loses his, he tries to go to the prom, has a issue.
A mishap.
And years later, he hires a private investigator to track down this girl, Mary, and he realizes every guy that meets her falls in love with her. But yeah, I mean, this is not only one of my favorite comedies ever, but just a great rom-com.
Oh, there's so many laugh out loud moments in this. I remember watching this. I think we all watched it one night at the house. Mom and Dad put it on one night, and I think Mom left the room. Dad was cracking up over in the corner.
Yeah, I mean, and
this is one of my favorite movies of all time, hands down. Not even just romantic comedies.
It's a rom-com, but if you want a little more laughter, then this is the movie to watch.
Nice choice, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's my number 1 too. So Brent, why don't you close it out?
My number 1 was already mentioned, The Wedding Singer from 1998. Brad said about All You Need to Know. Such a great soundtrack. Hall & Oates, Flock of Seagulls, You Spin Me Right Round. Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore have incredible chemistry in movies. You not only have this movie, which they're great in, you had 50 First Dates.
That's one of my favorite Sandler movies.
Blended, another movie with him and Drew Barrymore.
Yes.
So in this scene, the "Grow Old with You" song on the airplane, it's like the highlight scene of the movie. It's the culmination where he gets to the airport. She's going to be eloping with Glenn Guglia, who is just an all-time great movie villain. And Billy Idol, the people in first class are finding out what's going on, and so they're setting up a plan for him.
Prime grade A.
Yeah. He's just such a jerk. So they're setting it up where Adam Sandler's character Robbie Hart can sing this. He's a songwriter, and but for the movie, Drew Barrymore, actually, because she wanted the real scene to have such authenticity, she refused to hear this song before they actually shot the scene. So her hearing it during the filming of the movie is the first time that she heard the song. Cool. And so you see she's got like a real emotional reaction to it. This is one of my all-time favorite Adam Sandler movies. Again, he's a great guy. There's so many 80s themes to this. And, you got his best friend who wears, like, the leather jacket, the Michael Jackson glove.
So great.
It's a really solid flick. And it's one where the good guy does win in the end. The good guy gets the girl in this one. So, yeah.
I love the grandma where he
takes
does piano lessons.
Yeah, it takes meatball payments.
Just put it right in his hand, the meatballs.
And it's great, too, because after he gets left on the altar by Linda, I believe her name is, he's this like happy-go-lucky guy who gets really dark and cynical for a while. Yep. And instead of doing weddings, he starts doing like bar mitzvahs and pretty much anything that he can that's not a wedding because of the pain that it's bringing up in him. Yeah. But that was a solid list of movies there.
Yeah, it's some good movies.
Surprised I didn't see Jerry Maguire.
I thought Jerry Maguire,
there's a
but
handful out there.
There's certain movies I was telling Brent that the way that I kind of went, I wanted comedy where it actually made me laugh and romance.
Yeah.
But there are a ton of good ones, like you said, Jerry Maguire. Another great one that barely made the list is a movie called As Good as It Gets. If you haven't seen that one, that is a good one with Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. I also had Can't Hardly Wait. Didn't make my top 5, but as far as an iconic high school movie, it's got everything. It's got the jocks, the nerds, Barry Manilow.
I didn't put it because I had 10 things I hate about you. Yeah, I was going to put one or the other, but
awesome.
Well, we warmed you up because our next segment is all about heartbreaks.
Get your Kleenex out if you are a fan of one of these teams.
Now, between the Giants, the Mets, the Jets, and the Eagles, we have all had our fair share. So,
especially if you're a Mets or a Jets fan.
Yeah.
The Mets are the Jets of the Major League Baseball.
I feel bad for people that are fans of both of those teams.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
It usually goes that way, too. But, yeah, we're going to go ahead and tell you basically our history of the game with them as being fans. What were your worst moments?
The ones that really stung?
Yeah.
I'll start this off. My first one is, the Mets have had a couple late season meltdowns, to say the least, where, last couple games of the season, they've been holding on to a few game lead. But the culmination of this was in 2007. Jimmy and I had just moved down to Atlanta.
Yeah.
With 17 games left in the season, the Mets, who'd been dominating the NL East all year, blew a 7-game lead to miss the playoffs.
They held first place for 140 straight days before that.
They went 5-11 down the stretch. They lost the division lead on the last day of the season to the Phillies. This was a loaded Mets team. You had Glavine and Pedro Martinez were the 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
You had Billy Wagner closing out games. And then on offense, this offense had a lot of pop. David Wright, Carlos Delgado, Carlos Beltran, Moises Alou,
Paul LaDuca,
Sean Green. This one hurt because when you go 5-11 down the stretch and blow a 7-game lead, again, out of all of the late game collapses, and there have been quite a few, this was by far the one that I was like, this can't be happening.
No. What stung the most, too, our last chance of getting into the playoffs was the very last game, and we throw Tom Glavine out there, thinking the veteran, we got a good shot, he'll manage the game, give us a chance. Well, he goes and gives up 6 runs in the first inning. We lose 7-1.
They put us out of our misery. They put us out of our misery right away.
I mean, David Wright, that year, he hit 325, 30 home runs, over 100 RBIs, Gold Glove.
He never was
Silver
injured or
Slugger.
anything. He would have been in.
Yeah.
Carlos Beltran also won the Gold Glove with Silver Slugger. But, yeah, we had Pedro Martinez on that team. That was
Sean Green, man, that was the year they brought Sean Green
stacked.
over. Had a real that was a team all throughout the season. I thought, all right, we might get one this year. Like we really might. And then they just, like they've done so many times, they just snatch your heart out.
It was the year before? I think they had like 100+ wins. Rolling off of a good season the year before.
Yeah.
We lost to the Cardinals in the NLCS
in Game 7.
In
Game 7, Beltran
so coming off
struck
a hot
out.
year.
Struck out looking, I believe.
That one could have been on this list too.
Yeah, that one hurt.
Yep. That was my first one on the list also, being a Mets fan.
Yeah.
It stung deep. It still sits with me today. It kind of like...
It haunts you at the end of the season.
It kind of propelled the Phillies that year into being good for the next couple decades.
Yeah. Well, that one...
it's not good.
That one... that one still like comes up. It was a few years ago. The Mets blew a lead to the Braves like in the last week of the season. And that's always like haunts you as a Mets fan. There's never a lead that's too safe in August or September as a Mets fan.
No.
Because that just haunts you. And this past year, the Mets had one of the best records at the All-Star break, and then just the wheels completely came off.
Speaking of the Mets, has anyone heard of the hammock or hamate bone? Whatever.
Hamate in your wrist.
Hamate bone.
Yeah.
So Francisco Lindor.
I just saw that.
Just went down, had surgery. But there's 2 other players who just heard it the same. What's his name from Baltimore? The young stud from Baltimore.
Holiday.
Yeah. He just broke his, but I'd never even heard of it.
Yeah, the hook of the hamate. It's a bone in the hand and wrist there.
All right, Jimmy.
All right, I'm going to start out speaking of the Mets and Jets. I was saying this a little earlier, but really to have heartbreak in sports, you have to have some type of success. You can't just always be bad, because then you're just never going to have heartbreak. So for me, as much as the Jets are terrible, my biggest heartbreak is probably the 2010 AFC Championship game. And it's because this is Rex Ryan, Mark Sanchez, loaded defense, Darrelle Revis, and 2009, go to the AFC Championship game, go up at half on Peyton Manning-led Colts, and end up losing the game. So then you get to the next year. We beat Brady and Manning in the playoffs. Every Jets fan, we're going, this is it. This is the year we go to the Super Bowl. We come out the AFC Championship and go down 24-0 to the Steelers, which just kind of ripped my heart out right away. But the worst was they came back. They went on a 19-0 run against the Steelers, and you thought you were going to have this, and they just couldn't score a touchdown and ended up losing the game. And that, as a Jets fan, I haven't felt that since, to be honest with you, since 2010. But yeah, that one was a heartbreaker because they were bad. They finally got good, lost 2 years in a row, and then bad again. So
and that eventually led to the butt fumble and just
that was it.
The debacle. That was it.
Yeah, just bad.
All right, my number 2. I'm gonna stick with the Mets. There's so many you can choose from as a Mets fan. This is more of a several year theme to this one. So between 2015 and 2018, at the same time, the Mets rostered Jacob deGrom, Matt Harvey, Noah Syndergaard, Philip Wheeler, and Steven Matz. This, you could not put together a better starting 5 probably in the history of the game. Each of these guys had collective individual success. The problem was they couldn't stay healthy.
No.
This group was decimated by arm injuries. Matt Harvey had thoracic outlet syndrome, had to have surgery for that. Syndergaard had a lat issue, an eventual Tommy John.
Now this was the pitching coach, right? Having them do
I think it was the strength
heavy lifting.
I don't know for sure, but I know that the strength training coach was fired not too long after this. DeGrom had the elbow issue. Zach Wheeler had such a bad Tommy John issue that he missed 2 seasons, and then eventually came back with the Phillies when the Mets let him walk for nothing. We didn't trade him. We didn't try to re-sign him. He goes and wins it. I'm pretty sure he won a Cy Young with the Phillies. Yep. And then Matz was awesome too. He had issues from very early on. The Mets made one World Series in this time. They ended up losing to the Royals, a very scrappy, very fun to watch Royals team. But for me, it's the fact that during that time period, this is the big what if for me. If those guys stay healthy, that is the most dominant rotation in quite possibly in baseball history. And they all had success pre and post, just couldn't get them on the field at the same time.
You had DeGrom, with sub-1 ERA, and he couldn't get a win because the Mets couldn't score.
Unless DeGrom hit a home run in his own game, which he often did because he was such a good athlete and hitter.
There was that one I don't remember, it was a particular season where he had such a low ERA, and it was like historic the Mets couldn't score anytime he pitched.
Brad nailed it. There were times where DeGrom's ERA would be like 1 point something, and you look, it'd be late in the season, and he'd be like 6-6. You'd be like, how is this possible?
Ton of no decisions and a bunch of losses because it'd be like 1-0 game.
Yep. No wonder he left for the Rangers.
Yeah. Well, you could argue that this year is another heartbreak with the Mets with unloading a couple fan favorites.
Yeah.
But
no more polar bear.
Can't
stings.
look back. We gotta move. That's all we could do as fans.
Keep it moving.
Move forward and keep cheering on your team, no matter how bad management or ownership could be. All right, mine is it's the Miracle at the New Meadowlands. Brent, you'll remember this.
I like this one. This is heartwarming.
I don't think I've ever been more pissed off as a Giants fan. I'm out watching the game with some friends, and we have this game locked up. But this is the 2010 season. This is the inaugural.
Yeah, that.
The first.
Inaugural season at the new Meadowlands Stadium. So we're playing at home. We're up 31-10 late in the fourth quarter. I think there's like 7.5 minutes to go. And we had a pretty stacked team. The Eagles have Mike Vick though at quarterback, the difference maker. So within 7.5 minutes, they come and score 21 unanswered points. So Vic, he busts off like a 35-yard run. The first touchdown, he actually throws a 65-yard pass to the tight end. They get the onside kick. Vic busts out a big run, then runs in like a 4-yard touchdown run. The Giants have an opportunity. They march all the way down the field, get it to the 40-yard line. Instead of going for the long field goal, we decide to punt. Vic comes right back down the field, another short touchdown pass to tie it up. We get the ball back. It's like a 3-and-out. Manning gets sacked. We call a timeout so we don't take the flag and back us up even more. So we have plenty of time to plan out this punt, not to kick it to the most dynamic punt returner at the time, Deshaun Jackson. What does our kicker do? Kicks it right to him.
Was it Fiegels?
No, it wasn't Fiegels. This was Matt Dodge.
Didn't he fumble it though?
During the timeout, you could see Tom Coughlin adamantly.
Red. I'm sure he was red.
As could be, adamantly telling the kicker, kick it out of bounds. Don't kick it to him.
In cold weather, Tom Coughlin's face would get about the color of Jimmy's hat.
But this, so 14 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
The game's going to overtime. Huge playoff implications on this game. This decides who's first place in the NFC East. He kicks it right to him. Jackson muffs the catch even. He collects it, and then that's it.
The rest is
just threads
65
through.
yards to the house. He bobs and weaves his way. I don't think he ever got touched. And, of course, he had to hot dog it going into the end zone.
Thankfully,
it off.
Thankfully, he didn't drop this one before he got in the end zone. He had a few of those in his time in Philly.
So not only did Philly take first place, but Giants had a 10-6 record. It was a great record that year, and they still missed out on the playoffs because of a tiebreaker.
Yeah. How good of an athlete was Deshaun Jackson? You want to talk about small and tiny?
Man.
I don't know what they listed him at. He was way smaller than whatever it was.
He was so fast.
Electric speed on a football field. And he played, Brad's right, he played with some swag.
He killed the Giants every time he played us.
No, he was fun to watch. I used to love having him in fantasy football. My number 2, I'm going to go with my New York Knicks. This is when I was a kid really first getting into basketball and sports, but this is a 1994 NBA Finals versus the Rockets. Knicks.
Incredible
3-2.
series.
Yeah, great series. Knicks 3-2 series lead. And they were cooking.
John Starks.
And this is, if you're a Knicks fan, you know, game 6 and 7, John Starks disappeared. He couldn't hit a shot to save his life. I think he went 2 for 18 shooting in game 6 and 0 for 11 from the three-point range in game 7. And this crushed the Knicks. Ewing couldn't do enough, but really, I thought that this is when the Knicks. I thought they were the best team in the league, and you never want to be up 3-2 in the finals and lose those final 2 games. But I remember watching it at my aunt and uncle's house, Game 7, just being devastated as a young kid, Knicks fan.
They were a tough team.
Those Knicks teams had some close calls, some great battles against the Bulls. Those Chicago teams.
Yeah, Ewing, Starks, Allen Houston,
Oakley.
Yeah, you just had
Anthony Mason. They had some bruisers on that team
for sure. But that was a tough heartbreak.
All right, so my number one, I could pick another Mets one here. I'm not going to. I'll wait and see what Brad has for his number one. But there's some Mets ones that, again, are kind of heartbreak. But I'm going to the gridiron here. This is in 2005. So the previous 3 years, the Philadelphia Eagles had a heck of a team in the early 2000s. Andy Reid is our coach. Donovan McNabb is our quarterback. You have Brian Westbrook. You have Brian Dawkins just leading that defense. This Philly team, good on both sides of the ball. 3 straight years had lost in the NFC Championship game. They were favored in some of these games. They couldn't get over the hump, but in 2005 we did. We got over the hump. We win the NFC Championship game, and who do we see in the Super Bowl? Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. This is a heartbreaker for me. The Eagles lost this Super Bowl 24-21 because as an Eagles fan, I'm so happy to see Andy Reid have success with the Chiefs, but I wanted Andy Reid, Donovan McNabb, Brian Westbrook, and Brian Dawkins to get a ring in their career. Yeah. And Reid eventually got one with the Chiefs. He never got one in Philly.
You had T.O. on that team too, right?
I had T.O. on that team who came back early from the broken leg, had a heck of a Super Bowl. He kind of kept Philly in that game, but he was always a disgruntled,
that's my quarterback.
These receivers. But this one to this day still stings. I loved Donovan McNabb. You were always in the mix as an Eagles fan during this time, and I kind of took that for granted because they had the stretch after Reid left where for a period of time there were some lean years. There were some down years there in Philly. And I wanted to see this team get it done and get a ring. And I was in college during this game. This one stung.
Yeah. Yeah, I always thought that McNabb-Reid teams were legit.
Yeah.
Well, all right, my top one, we're going back to the Giants. This is the 2008 season. This local Tidewater boy, Plaxico Burress, goes and shoots himself in the leg in a Manhattan nightclub. The Giants are 11-1 at the time. We're favored to repeat as Super Bowl champions right after beating Tom Brady and the Patriots the year before. We had a stacked team. You had the Earth, Wind, and Fire running backs, Brandon Jacobs, Ahmad Bradshaw, Derek Ward, 2,000-yard rushers in the same season. I think it was only the 5th time that had happened in the NFL. But Plexico wasn't having as good of a year as the year before. He blew up the year before. But he was it took away that deep threat. Once he was gone, other defenses started stacking the box. We still finished number 1 seed in the NFC that year. Then we went down to the Eagles in the divisional round of the playoffs. But he ruined what was a phenomenal chance to repeat and go down as one of the better teams in history.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was crazy when happened.
Didn't he get arrested too?
Yeah, because you can't have any firearms in the city. In New York.
Certainly not in a club, but the fact that you do, I mean, people just, that's a crazy thing that happened. All right. So my number one, I don't even like talking about this, to be honest with you. I don't like watching anything on it. If something comes on about it, I turn it off. And I don't even want to talk about it right now, but I have to.
It's history.
But the Yankees, 2004 ALCS, Boston Red Sox, Yankees go up 3-0. No team has ever come back from a 3-0 series deficit. And
then David Ortiz happens.
It just, Dave Roberts, David Ortiz, Manny Ramirez. I have respect for them, but like I said, I just hate even this still haunts me. This is one of those things that still haunts me to this day because that should have been. That Yankees team was another World Series winning team. And
I remember watching that third game, and the Yankees not only won that third game, I think they put up like 17 runs. They absolutely dominated to go up 3-0. History. No one had ever come back from a 3-0 deficit.
That's one of the most brutal sports moments for sure. I mean, that was just
Pedro
ugly.
And Schilling.
Yeah, I mean, it was they had a loaded team.
The bloody sock.
Pedro Schilling and was Derek Lowe on that team?
It might have been Lowe.
Might have been. I don't know if it was Lowe or Arroyo. Yeah, that was a scrappy Boston squad.
Yeah, that's when Boston really kind of turned it.
Kevin Millar
turned it around. I think that's when they won their first World Series in however many years. But
Johnny Damon, Kevin Millar, Jason Varitek. Where that all changed was during the season when you had the scuffle between A-Rod and Varitek. And it was like
even better between Pedro and
Zimmer.
The Red Sox are dirt balls. First off, you have Pedro that throws an old man to the ground.
I think Zimmer broke more than his heart on that.
Then you had Varitek, who is such a tough guy that he tried to fight A-Rod with catcher's gear and his mask still on. So anyway, I'm still disappointed about that series.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we've all suffered a lot of heartache.
Yes, hopefully,
somehow we still find it in our hearts to still root for our teams.
Keep on watching these teams, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more heartbreaks.
I got a feeling the Mets are going to give us some heartache this year again.
Well, speaking of heartbreak,
let's jump to it.
Duke up 12 at half. Looked like the dominant team in the game. Carolina, outside of Wilson in that first half, couldn't do much of anything.
Yeah.
They chip away. Huge three-pointer with 0.4 seconds left on the clock to a guy Jimmy was just telling them, please throw the ball to Trimble. He wanted that ball in Trimble's
I knew
hands.
he was going to hit that three.
The issue I had with first off, congrats, Jimmy. Another classic. You got to tip your cap.
Great game.
Got to tip your cap. This rivalry is great for sports. It's one of the greatest rivalries in sports. We're talking Duke, Carolina, college hoops. The issue I had, I did not like the last ISO play call that Duke had. They drained the clock down. Boozer had the ball out behind the three-point line, tried to work his way in. He got a decent look. Some may argue he got bumped, he got fouled. You can't go to that, though, when it's down to the wire. I just wish Duke would have swung the ball or actually set a play call instead of draining it down. Boozer's a bigger guy. He's not, an elite ball handler. And
get an off-ball screen for Boozer to get open.
Or just get him in the post and feed it to him while he's already down there, established and in position. I think both of these teams have national championship potential, though. Wilson, though, big blow for Carolina this
Wilson,
week.
I think, fractured his wrist. He should be back, but there's no timetable for his return. And without Wilson, really, that's the catalyst for that team.
That kills him.
Without him, he's the engine. They're just not the same team.
They're not doing much without him.
But, big win for the Heels. And like you said, what a big shot by Trimble. And we're joking, of course. Trimble all game kept on trying to force shots, so
especially down there towards the end.
We're watching the game, and I really thought it should go to Will. I was like, don't give Trimble the ball. He's just forcing shots. But, he was so wide open, I didn't even notice him.
Well, we were talking at the end of the game. I think Jimmy and I both didn't see him in the corner, and we thought it was an errant pass that was going out of bounds. I thought we were headed for overtime. And then you see him, and it's like, wait a minute, is that... And sure enough,
that was
he drilled it, ice in his veins on that shot there.
Yeah, that was a big shot.
How about those Carolina fans there
showing their true colors,
throwing some WCW moves,
punching Duke coaches, and
that never happened. It's all AI,
college kids.
But another great battle between, and I'm excited to see the next one.
Yeah, we got another one coming up.
And in a few weeks, you'll want to stay tuned. We've got a little Duke Carolina something coming for you. We don't want to let too much out on this one, but you'll want to tune in for it for sure.
You definitely have some ammo after watching that game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we'll keep it moving. In lieu of NBA All-Star Weekend, let's jump on our favorite All-Star Weekend moments of all time.
Yeah, Mount Rushmore here. So we get four
Mount
four
Rushmore
to choose.
So these are not in any particular order, obviously. Just
Nah. I think
we gotta
save
fix
my George Washington for last.
Look, we got to fix the All-Star game. I don't want to go in Freddie's corner right now, but you got to get the All-Star game competitive again. Guys used to care about this. There was a pride when it was East versus West. We've got to figure out a way to make the game competitive. This year you've got USA versus the world. I've heard two things that I like. I've heard Wemby saying he's going to take it serious, and I've heard Jamal Murray, who'll be playing for the world because he's from Canada, saying this game means something to him. I want to see guys compete. I don't like this guys have fun and dunk and whatever. And you'll see that come up in my Mount Rushmore here.
If we're doing Intercontinental versus U.S., I mean, the world's got the top 5 best players in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
You got Luka, you got Jokic,
Wemby.
you got Wemby, you got SGA.
Shea.
And you got
Giannis.
a couple more. Yeah, Giannis. Yeah. So in my mind, they got the top 5 in the NBA right now.
LeBron and Curry, man, they're old at this point. So
I do like
Ant.
Kevin Durant had me laughing, talking about how the old heads won't take it serious and nobody wants to take it serious anymore. But they got to do something.
It used to be fun.
Even the dunk contest is awful now.
I mean, the dunk contest is probably still the best part, but
yeah.
I think they've run out of dunks. I think every dunk has been possibly done.
Honestly, I think they should start incorporating put 3 trampolines.
No, what they need to do is have your best players in the dunk contest again. I don't want to see centers. I want to see Anthony Edwards.
Exactly.
I want to see Ja Morant. I want to see your superstars out there in the dunk contest.
The problem is these guys get paid so much money and then they're scared to dunk a ball because they're afraid they're going to get injured. Like, how often have you gotten injured dunking? Never. Just do it. Join it. We want to see it.
And I think you'll see that in this Mount Rushmore of mine, at least. There's very few modern-day moments in my Mount Rushmore because the All-Star Weekend has become more of like an exhibition than an actual thing that guys care about.
I'm going to kick this one off. All 4 of mine, 2 of them, there's only 2 All-Star games that all 4 of mine have happened in.
Yeah.
But we're going to start with 1988, 3-point contest.
It's mine too.
Larry Bird.
The legend.
Well, I'll just say one thing about it and let you take it from here, Brent. But Bird walks into the locker room filled with the other 3-point contestants, and he just asks, who's coming in second?
Great.
The guy had the most swag. He was the best trash talker on the court, and he always backed it up.
Yeah.
So he just breezed through the first few rounds. Never even took his warm-up jacket off for the last round. And iconically, while mid-shot, while the ball's still in the air, holds his finger up and walks off the court on his last shot as it goes in, claiming his 3rd title in a row.
Nothing else to say. He had all the talking points there.
Just lethal. Just such a sharpshooter.
Larry the legend.
And he's, he'd probably go back and he'd be icing down his knees with a couple of Budweisers.
Bud Heavies, yeah.
That was your 4?
I had that one as well. I had Larry in 1988. Again, 3rd straight title. And Larry he was great at so many things on a basketball court. Incredible vision, awesome passer. So many stories of him trash talking. Story of him playing 1 quarter left-handed because he got bored.
Yeah.
And I think putting up 13 points in that quarter, just
crazy.
A stud.
He's got a distant cousin playing some D1 basketball right now, and if you go watch him play, his style is just like him. I want to say Murray State or something that he plays for.
Yeah.
All right. One of mine is from 1992, Magic Johnson's return. Magic Johnson was diagnosed with HIV. If you don't remember, back in the day, he was probably still is one of the greatest players ever, but he finally came back. 92, played in the All-Star game, won MVP, but it was like a defining moment of the 90s for Magic Johnson, who was an all-timer. But it really, part of that, it spread awareness for AIDS, I guess, HIV, which was just rampant, I guess, the late 80s and 90s. But yeah, I remember that as a kid, just being, because I didn't really know what it was, what he was sick, what HIV was. So seeing him come back to play was awesome.
The world's greatest magic trick.
Yeah.
Magic and Larry carried the league and quite possibly saved the NBA.
Yeah.
Because in the 70s, the NBA had a drug problem. It was, you had the NBA and the ABA. Ratings were down, viewing was down, and then you have Bird and Magic, the college rivalry that they had. Coming into the league, Celtics, Lakers, those two went back and forth, won almost all the titles in the 80s, between the two of them. Yeah, so I'm sure Brad's got this one too, because he said all four of his come from 2 years. I'm going to keep it in 1988, and I'm going to go just the all-around performance from Michael Jordan. Not only does he win the dunk contest with the free throw line dunk, beating Dominique Wilkins, and again,
40-pointer.
And again, this is when your stars competed. They took pride in winning the dunk contest. Dominique
took pride in the game too.
Dominique was considered the human highlight film. Of course they took pride in the game. These guys, MJ in the All-Star game drops 40 points, 8 rebounds, 4 steals, 4 blocks to go on and win MVP. Not only that, he does it in his home city of Chicago. So I have just the all-around 1988 performance by MJ during this season. All right? MJ's the GOAT. Come on. It's not even up for debate. During this season, Jordan won the MVP, he won the Defensive Player of the Year, and he won the scoring title all in the same season.
I've got it on my list.
Like Mike. Yeah. I want to be like Mike.
Just the GOAT doing GOAT things, really. But yeah, that puts in perspective. Like, I'd love to see an All-Star game like that where these guys are really battling again.
Yeah.
The moment, though, where final round of the dunk contest, he needs a 49 out of 50 on his last dunk. Marches all the way down to the other end of the court.
Builds up the drama.
Starts that slow trot down the court and takes off from the free throw line. To me, that image is burned in my memory as the most iconic sports image of all time. And it has to do with our uncle's attic at our grandparents' house. They had posters all over, like Lawrence Taylor, Bo Jackson, but they had the Michael Jordan poster of him double clutching, legs back, and just,
Tecmo Bowl going in the background.
Yeah. That's great.
We're spoiled that we got to grow up during that time.
For sure.
He flew. Michael Jordan flew. And yeah.
All right, mine is something small, but it's something that I've always remembered, and that's the white chocolate elbow pass.
Yeah.
We all know what that is.
That's me.
But I think that was in the Rising Stars game. But this is a pass that has never been seen in NBA play before. And basically he's dribbling, he's driving, and he dribbles the ball behind his back, then hits it with his elbow, fakes it to the right, hits it with his elbow back to the left, and to Ferenc, I think it is.
It blew my mind.
It blew Rafe's mind too, because he didn't know what was coming.
Well, he got fouled. He didn't finish the play, but he did get fouled on that play.
Yeah.
But it's one of those moments where you think, it's just a pass. But I think it blew everyone's mind. We didn't know what we saw. They had to replay it like 20 times. Even the announcers were like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah.
They kept on replaying it.
Do yourself a favor and
yeah.
YouTube Jason Williams highlights. His passing was on another level.
Smoothest ball handler of all time.
The crossover he hit on Gary Payton, where Gary Payton can't even do anything except smile. This was the elite defender in the NBA at the time.
That kind of opened the world's eyes to
White chocolate.
Jay Williams, White Chocolate, but it's such a great moment.
A little trivia question for you about this play.
I already know it, so ask Brent.
Who was the fake pass to? The misdirection supposed to go to?
No idea.
Legend.
A young Dirk Nowitzki.
Very nice.
All right.
But yeah, we've talked about it before too. Him going to college or high school with Randy Moss.
Randy.
Yeah.
And just you got two of the world's greatest at what they did in the same high school together.
Yeah, which
playing
is
sports
nuts.
together.
They played basketball together. Could you imagine going and watching one of those high school basketball
They dominated
games?
everyone.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, that was my next one also. So.
Was yours? All right.
Hey, go ahead, Brent.
I'm going to go ahead and get this one out. Again, when the All-Star game was competitive. This is 2001. One of my all-time favorite athletes to just purely watch play sport. Allen Iverson leads a 21-point fourth quarter comeback against the West. The West was so much bigger than the East in this game. Iverson drops 15 of his 25 points in this fourth quarter. Steph Marbury hit 2 monster threes in this quarter. They come back and win 111-110 for the East. Kobe did everything in his power to keep the West in this game. And if you go watch the fourth quarter highlights from this game, it's got a playoff level of intensity for an All-Star game. These guys are body bumping. They're playing defense. They're hand checking. I mean, this game has what you want to see in an All-Star game, which is the elite of the elite actually competing. And so let's bring it back. Let's bring it back, NBA.
I want to see it. I'm so tired of just the defense just walking down the court every play.
Yeah, the free alley-oops, all that stuff.
What do you have, one left?
I got a couple left. I actually wrote down an extra one just in case.
I'm going to, I'll do this one before I go to the last one. This is from 1998, Kobe versus Jordan. This is Kobe. Young Kobe.
This is introduction to Kobe.
Not even a
Kobe was.
starter on the Lakers at this point, Kobe. But he was voted in as a starter in the All-Star game by fans. They just really wanted to see him play. And his idol, his icon, Michael Jordan, was on the other side of the ball. And you can find famous clips of this, of them kind of going back and forth. But yeah, this is kind of Kobe's introduction. And Michael Jordan kind of passing the torch to Kobe. But this is the last, real good All-Star game, I feel like.
You could see the mutual respect between the two greatest of all time in the game. And you could see Mike passing the torch there. But there's no higher level of mental competition than those two guys.
No, and Jordan did win MVP in that All-Star game, but I mean... that kind of showed the world who the quote-unquote next Jordan would be.
All right. Brent, you got one left? All right, I got 2 left still, so. We're going back to the 2000.
This is my number one, or my last one.
All right.
So, yeah, go for it.
I'll do my other one, and then we'll do that one together at the end. We'll take it back to 1986. This is a year, right after the year that Dominique Wilkins beat Jordan in the dunk contest. Jordan was injured for this dunk contest. Here comes rookie sensation Spud Webb, Dominique Wilkins' teammate for the Hawks. Spud Webb, this one goes out to all the short guys out there. 5'7".
He wasn't even that. He was listed at 5'7".
Yeah. And we're talking, this is way before internet and social media. There's no footage of this guy. So everyone in the stadium or whoever's watching on TV is like, really? They're throwing him out there to do layups? Spud Webb blows everyone's mind, doing 360 dunks. He did it's like a 360 helicopter. He does the double pump. The 180 reverse off the bounce though is what got him. But it blew the world's mind to see someone that size with such vertical leap.
It's still incredible to see someone that size be able to dunk like that.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, go look it up on YouTube. It's so impressive, his explosiveness.
Yeah. That's a fun rabbit hole to go down. That'll lead you to the Nate Robinson dunk contest, the modern era, similar thing, but I think he won it 2 or 3 years in a row, just being so tiny and being able to dunk like that.
Yeah.
All right, we probably all have the same.
I'm gonna keep this one with the dunk contest. I got 2016.
Okay.
This is my opinion, the greatest dunk contest of all time. You had Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon.
Yeah.
You want to watch 5 minutes of pure elite athleticism? Go watch the recap of this dunk contest on YouTube. Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine, these guys are just trading haymakers, like two heavyweight fighters back and forth. This LaVine ends up winning. Questionable. You could argue that Gordon had the better dunks, but LaVine gets a back-to-back title. These guys were just trading 50-point dunks, pretty much back and forth. Gordon used the mascot and did some things I never even could creatively come up with. He jumped over the mascot. Then he does this one where he sits down, jumps over the mascot, sits down, takes the ball under his legs, dunks it. He goes with the behind the head between the leg dunk. The mascot in one of these is spinning on a hoverboard. He takes the ball from him. Just incredible creativity. And then Zach LaVine just goes nuts from the free throw line. Yeah. He does a windmill from the free throw. He goes between his legs from the free throw line.
Did he jump over a car that year?
That was a different year. That was another year. But the athleticism from both of these guys and where their head is on the rim, it's just, in my opinion, as far as the competition. You had the Jordan dunk, you had the Spud. These are all great dunk contests, but the two guys just where it was hard to pick a winner. The announcers kept saying, bring out 2 trophies. You can't pick a winner.
It's fun because you notice a lot of dunk contests, there's always one guy that you just is he's going to win it.
Yes.
But it is fun when you have 2 dudes just battling it out back and forth like that.
And these were 2... because, again, in the modern time, you got G League guys in there. You got guys who aren't starters. You got no-name guys. These were 2 guys who were up-and-comers in the NBA, and Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine.
Now, nowadays, too, these guys are missing every try. They have a time clock of go try as many times as you can until you make it. Yeah. Back in the day, too, it's just you had a couple chances, and that was it.
I think so.
Yeah. And then you had to know when to peak. You had to save. You had to do enough to get into the final rounds, but then you had to save your Sistine Chapel masterpiece dunk for the end.
And I think leading into mine and Brad's final pick, to me, just even out of any major sport all-star game, I still love the slam dunk contest.
And the three-point. I like them both. I like the dunk. I love Saturday night at the NBA, how it used to be.
The dunk and the three-point, other than that, I'm hoping for a better game this year. If the All-Star game got competitive again, I'd be a lot more into it.
It's the best of the best. Don't you want to see them competing against each other?
Now, mine and Jimmy's number 1 is a little different than Brent's, as in there was no competition in this one. And I can't believe you left him off of this. Go ahead, Jimmy.
This is Vinsanity.
Vince Carter.
2000 NBA Slam Dunk Contest.
Best single dunk performance ever. Yeah. This guy, I don't think he missed a single dunk.
Well, he did stuff that we've never seen done in a dunk contest really before or in the NBA. I mean, he kind of came up with stuff that guys now do, but they built off of that. But I mean, this slam dunk contest, he had the world just shook.
I think he was the all-time most entertaining dunker.
In-game dunker? Either him or Dominique, for sure.
Insane what he would do.
He had in that he had a 360 windmill dunk.
He dunked over a 7-foot Frenchman.
And he wasn't going up against no names. He was going up against his cousin, Tracy McGrady, and teammate at the time, and Steve Francis, who had some hops.
Yeah. And he did the honey dip, which now is a thing. All guys want to do that, but he he dunked it and got his elbow and hung on his elbow. I mean, I just remember at the time watching, and even the announcers
that's
the
best part.
Happening?
The best part of the reactions of like Kenny Smith and Shaq and Reggie Miller and these guys.
They don't know what's going on.
After the first dunk, which I thought his first dunk was the best one of the night.
Was that the 360 windmill?
Yeah, but he spun reverse.
Yeah.
And when you're talking windmill, it's one thing to be like, bring it like this. I mean, he had arm full extension the whole way around, and Kenny Smith goes, "That's it, let's go home, it's over."
Yeah, I mean, if you want to see, to gear you up for this All-Star game, go and check out these different dunk contests that we're talking about, the Zach Levine, Aaron Gordon, and, you know, this will get you prepped. This will get you fired up.
Indeed.
Well, that's it for the Mount Rushmore. Some great All-Star moments from our memories. Let us know any of yours if you got some that stand out in your mind that we haven't touched on.
Yeah, comment down there. Let us know your favorite 90s rom-coms, your personal heartbreaks, your Mount Rushmore of All-Star games. Put it down in the comments.
And if you haven't yet, please give us a subscribe. Really helps us out. Helps us keep making this kind of content, having fun.
Yeah.
Check out the Instagram page where we'll be posting another sports mixtape 3-leg parlay this weekend. Haven't really decided now that football is over. We may cross 3 different sports. We may stick to just one with NCAA basketball. The NBA and hockey going on right now.
We'll see. We made you guys some money this year, so we don't want to ruin it. But
exactly.
Next week, tune back in. We've got the All-Star Weekend recap where we'll go over the dunk contest, the game, 3-point contest, and we've got some fun pitchers and catchers stuff for the MLB.
The reporting.
As they start to report.
I think today they started.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we'll see you next time.
Happy Valentine's Day.